Logan the Layman Critic here. Today's review is for Kingsman, The Golden Circle. It's directed by Matthew Vaughn and stars Taron, Egerton, and Colin Firth. Let's talk movies. A series of calculated attacks dwindle the Kingsman's number to only two, Eggsy and Merlin. With little to go on, they travel to Kentucky and enlist the aid of their American counterparts, the Statesmen. They learn that the perpetrator is a drug empress who plans to hold unsuspecting users hostage all over the world. It's been several years since I saw the original Kingsman film. I liked it, and I liked this one as well. It's every bit as cheeky, irreverent, and edgy as its predecessor. If the BBC's Avengers show was a delinquent teenager, it would probably look something like this. The film jumps right into the action with a brawl inside and outside of a speeding car. It's a great scene to open the movie with. The fights are beautifully stylized and effectively combine hand-to-hand with gunplay. If you've ever seen Equilibrium, I'd say the choreography is comparable to that film. The climax is pretty awesome in its grandiosity. There's robot dogs, machine guns, electrified lassos, and Elton John beating the crap out of cartel thugs. It's thoroughly entertaining. The big reveal in the previews was the return of Colin Firth's character Harry. The first film left little doubt as to his character's fate. He was shot in the head, on screen. But he's back. I won't say how. He's lost some of his edge and some of his charm, but he gets to prove that he's worthy of being a Kingsman. He's not as likable, however, which I attribute to the lack of those two traits I just mentioned. I'm guessing he's the reason most people saw the original, if they weren't already familiar with the comic, and he's probably the reason most people came back for the sequel, so it was disappointing that we didn't get more of the same in this particular instance. Taron Egerton plays Eggsy as a little more wiser, a little more grown up, but not so much that it's a different person. It feels like a natural progression. And he still falls victim to his flaws from time to time. He's less of a punk, too, so it's easier to like him. Julianne Moore plays Poppy, the drug empress. She's creepily cheerful, and it's apparent from her very first scene that she's got some screws loose, even before she puts a guy through a meat grinder. It can come across as forced sometimes, and less her just being happy all the time because she's crazy. The supporting cast is a great asset to the film and gives it a lot of its charm. Mark Strong is back as Merlin. Then there's Pedro Pascal as Whiskey, who's the best new character in the film. Halle Berry plays Ginger Ale, the statesman's tech expert. And Jeff Bridges and Channing Tatum have bit parts as statesmen, and they're both entertaining. A criticism I had with the original is that some of the humor seemed in poor taste. It was part of what made it edgy, I guess, but it never really appealed to me. This trend carries over into the sequel, and it's characteristic of Mark Millar's work, so somebody out there must like it. I just happen to not be one of those people. Kingsman, The Golden Circle has great action scenes, and it's loyal to what came before, even if it's not as good. Colin Firth's just not as cool, but Taron Egerton and the supporting cast are able to pick up some of that slack and make you overlook it. Thanks for watching.